Welcome to the Startup Grind.
One of the very innovative things that you had way before your time on this is this idea that engineers were artists, and that and coupled with that games were an art form. And like you go up and down the freeway now and you see these billboards. I wonder what you think about them, but it's like we're hiring ninjas, engineering ninjas, rock stars, and all this crazy stuff. And it's like, here you are in 1982, more than 30 years ahead of that game. I just wonder, like, where did that come from? Like, where did that vision come from? How did you see it so clearly? Because it was totally embedded in the early EA culture. I mean, you really you treated these guys, you brought them out of their mom's basement, and you treated them like they should have been, like they were the people doing all the work. They were the builders. They were the creators. Where did that come from?
Yeah, so I think some of this was just learning about myself as a creative person and learning what creativity is all about, and having kind of a natural feel and a natural interest in media. Because clearly I had kind of evidence interest in media kind of generally even when I was a kid. And then I had the great opportunity at Apple to work with these genius caliber software developers, and they had diva personalities and they were really emotionally needy. And that's where I realized, yeah, these guys are basically artists.
Hmm.
So it just became very clear from working with some of that talent at Apple.
Another thing that you all had that, in my time at EA, this was something that we always look back at, was this idea of, can a computer make you cry? And this is this, like, in the video we'll put the picture of this up there, but you should Google this when you get home. It's like this, on one side it's this manifesto, and on the other side it's this picture of these like 12 engineers, like dressed in black, like they look like rock stars, but it was
There's only 6 of them, but yeah.
6, excuse me. But this idea, though, that a computer, that at some point that this art form would become so advanced that maybe a game could make you cry. I mean, this is in the days of computers were not making you cry unless they were crashing, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Again, where did that come? Where did you see that this was going to be this new interactive medium that didn't previously exist, but this was going to be on par with some of these other things?
Yeah, so I could tell it was a new medium, and that, like all other media, there was going to be a creative production process. And I started studying all the other media industries to figure out, okay, well, how do they all do it, and what can I draw from? So case in point, the first software development agreement was a hybrid of an Apple development agreement and a Hollywood music contract. And I got a hold of these 2 source documents and kind of merged them together with the help of a lawyer. So there was a really deliberate process there of just saying, well, okay, how do we borrow principles from these other industries and figure out how to apply them to an engineering-driven medium that's a new deal. So part of my perspective about it as a medium is that, like any other medium, it was an art form, and it was going to affect people emotionally. So the manifesto was really our ad agencies, which was really just 3 guys that kind of got together as freelancers, and then we became their first client. It was their kind of redrafting of what they'd heard me talking about. And they had the idea to get that point across about emotion and passion and art with the idea of, can the phrase, can a computer make you cry?